fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had our Horseman of War Azuka Midoriya. Now, there are strange things happening all around the world, and no one has any reasonable explanations for any of it all. Now, a lot of strange things were going on, from storms, natural disasters, and countries beginning to succumb to food shortages. And in the last part, I do believe that there was a meteor shower that struck certain countries. Now, with that, we do have Azuka Midoriya, who is, I believe, around the age of 8 years old. Now, by this time, with Midoriya's body growing older and closer to his physical prime, his powers are not only beginning to show themselves, but manifest. Now, this is going to be quite frightening and quite strange. Now, Midoriya is not aware of it yet, but he is currently in the process of manifesting more power. He can already use basically instantaneous combustion with fire. He can fly, and he can astral project. Now, he is also unaware of exactly how physically strong he is. Now, he also does have multiple other things under his belt, but we will not be getting into those yet. Now, with that, we do cut to a little bit of time later. One day Midoriya had a strange feeling, and he wasn't too sure what to describe it as. All of a sudden, he felt time stop. As if the entire second that he was paying attention disappeared, and his sole focus was on something else. Him staring in a particular direction, and finding it to be quite odd. This feeling. What is it? Strange. It feels familiar. It's something I've lost. That's odd. Wait. What am I thinking? This reminds me of something. Midoriya being pulled out of his strange trance. Somebody asking if he's alright. Midoriya turning to them and saying, yeah, I'm okay. Young man, are you alright? Truly. You were out of it there for a second. No, I'll be okay. I just need a minute. Now, that was one strange day, and he's been trying to piece it together ever since. And he just started getting older and older. As we do have Azuka Midoriya around the age of 14. Now, Midoriya has discovered at this point his super strength. One day, whenever he got up and got out of bed, he broke the bed frame that he put his hand on, before smashing his alarm clock and breaking a door handle. This being quite frightening. Now, along with that, Midoriya, he's discovered exactly how physically strong he is. He hasn't noticed it yet, but it seems that his body is beginning to develop muscle, even though that he doesn't really work out as intensely as some of the other pro heroes or people he's heard about. Now, there is also his stamina. He notices that he's gotten stronger, yeah, but he's also gotten a lot. What's the best way to say it? He's able to outlast a shit ton of people and go toe to toe with them. Now, he quickly is beginning to get more popular in his school. And him and Bakugo, at this point, I would say, are basically best friends. And brothers. Since they were raised together. And Bakugo, he does find it to be quite strange. His brother has strange abilities. And they just keep getting weirder. Asking Midoriya if he's gonna share any of that strange quirk with him. Midoriya laughing it off and saying that he wishes he could. But even he's not too sure about his strange powers. Now, with that, we actually do have Midoriya sitting in class and writing a few things down. Him listening to a playlist he does have playing on his phone, an earbud in his ear, as he is actually somewhat happy. Throughout everything he's been through, he's happy. And he's completely forgotten about that incident in his past with the crazy woman. He has had to talk to doctors about it and go see therapists about it, but they've signed off that he might be physically or mentally okay. And he's actually been just giving it some second thoughts. Becoming a pro hero. It does seem very interesting. There's also that thing in his head. Yeah. Let's see. I can remember the dates of battles, who fought in them, what they could have been going through. It's weird. I'm sort of a historian for battles. I wonder what it's like to fight in them, though. Then again, if I become a pro, I'll be able to get first-hand experience. I say that like it's a good thing, but it does kind of get me pumped up, though. I wonder if I'd ever encounter a villain with a sword. That'd be an interesting fight. Now, Midoriya is somewhat mumbling to himself and thinking, as he actually does get done with the test he is doing, getting up and walking it over to his teacher's desk. Before he does go back over to his seat and pull out his notebook. And he just begins to draw around in it a little bit and see what he can come up with. Now, it is quite strange. Midoriya drawing, he does actually get somewhat fascinated and inspired, trying to think of different things and something that could be useful to him in battle. He's drawing suits and trying to make designs that could benefit him. Now, after some time of doodling or trying to focus on what he wants to make, he does come up with a few things. And we actually do have, over the next couple weeks, with Midoriya, him drawing and trying to focus. And getting really, really into the design concepts. Now, he makes probably around a few dozen sketches, to be honest. And eventually he does get bored. Now, he is midway through sketching one and designing the arms, as his pencil actually does break. And Midoriya, he simply just does look at it for a second, thinking about how none of these suits or hero costumes really would fit what he wants to do. They don't feel right. him grabbing a pencil sharpener and beginning to sharpen his pencil. And trying to think. Let's see. If I remember correctly... Wait, I think I know what I want. What's that? Very confused, as he does go back to his drawing, and he begins to sketch more about it, noticing that the sleek design is beginning to change, and what he was going for. Now, Midoriya does find this to be quite confusing. Before, he does actually just open up to a brand new page, and he does let his hand do all the work, not even trying to think. He just begins to sketch. Inspiration sweeps him away. And eventually, we do have what he does draw. Now, I believe that this over here is the Horseman of War. It's been a minute since I've looked at this series, so I cannot be too sure. I know for a fact this one over here on the right is Pestilence. That one over there might be Death. Then that would be, I believe it would be Famine. Okay. I am very tired right now. Now, Midoriya does draw the armor for the Horseman of War. And he does actually look at it for a second. This can't be... No, wait, What is this? This looks familiar. I don't understand. When did I see this? Did I ever see something like this? Okay. I'd have to look into it though. I wonder what it is. Did I see it in a movie, a comic book? Probably one of those old movies from... No, I don't think that would be right. The armor does look different, however. Now, with that, Midoriya, he's confused and unsure of what this is. However, he does actually stop sketching. He's finally made what he wanted. He should be happy. However, we do have what happens next. With the following year, Midoriya, he begins to have strange dreams, and he begins to astral project more, it becoming a nightly occurrence. Now, along with that, he does actually notice something. That, whenever he was astral projecting one time, no one could see him. He was able to fly around, and he tried to intervene whenever he did see a crime. One man was going to be mugged, and Midoriya tried to stop him. It did not really work out too well. He tried to grab the man, but he basically did just fly straight through him. However, he was actually able to do something useful. The man who was robbed, who was scared, frightened, and overall cowardly, Midoriya, he tried to get his attention. And he subconsciously activated his abilities. Now, whenever Midoriya did actually tap the man on his shoulder, or try to, he was able to turn on anarchy inductments. Now, this ability is particularly dangerous. Now, the man quickly stands up, and he begins to go over what happened. And he gets angry. Angry at himself and angry at that man, along with getting angry at a whole lot of other things in his own personal life. Now, he runs out of the alleyway, looks around, and bolts in a direction. Now, Midoriya does actually begin to follow, and try and get the man's attention, asking if he's going to go to pro heroes or police, or is he going to try and go after that man and get his stuff back? The man not even listening to Midoriya. And Midoriya does just watch the man continue running, until he does just catch up to the thief, tagging him to the ground and just beginning to throw his hands into the man's neck or into the back of his head, before he does just grab him by his hair. And Midoriya watches what the man does next, smashing the kid's head or the man's head into the pavement. Now, let's see. I would say this kid's a teenager, or at least like a college-age student. Someone reckless. Now, the man does just begin to do this to this person. And Midoriya does actually watch. The man so full of rage and hatred, beginning to just beat down on the man. Until eventually, pro heroes and police officers do arrive. Midoriya watching the situation. The man, him, basically being pulled off of the person who's bloody and beaten. As pro heroes do have to fight to restrain him. Him still trying to fairly run at and take down the person who stole his wallets. Him then trying to fight against pro heroes before he is tased and put in the back of a police car. Now, upon hours of reckless abandonment and rage, the man does die. His heart was pumping him full of so much adrenaline that it was not normal. Now, they do want to look into how this may have happened. Meanwhile, there is Midoriya. After the man got taken away, he threw himself up out of his bed and awake. And he felt guilty for what he did. He was just trying to help, try and be a hero. And he made a situation a whole heck of a lot worse. Now, let us cut over to Death, or Melissa's shield. She herself was astral projecting on Island. And she did feel this happen. She felt anarchy inductment happen. Her simply just looking in a direction and feeling a particular warmth before just thinking the only thing in that direction would be a city or Japan and a few other areas. However, that feeling, it makes sense, doesn't it? I wonder, how far can I get away from my body? Would it be dangerous if I go too far? I should ask Dad about this, but I don't think he knows I can do this. If he found out I could basically spy on anyone, he'd scold me about it a whole lot. Even though I can't control it. I think I should be fine. I'll give it a shot for now. Her trying to fly off in a direction, and beginning to make her way towards Japan. Now, she gets pretty far, but she doesn't make it to Japan, nowhere close. I'd say she at least makes it about 1/10 of the way, or 1/20th of the way. I don't know how far Island is from Japan, especially since I don't believe we have its current location, or where it is in the world. Now, with that, this is quite peculiar. And she does actually take notice of this whenever she does wake up. Now, with our introduction to Melissa, we actually do cut over to Famine, or our Momo Yaoyorozu, who does live within Japan. Now, she was not astral projecting, and she was actually asleep. This night was not her night for her powers to suddenly manifest. However, she does suddenly find herself jerking awake in her room, and immediately staring in a direction. Now, a large clatter can be heard, along with what could be described as glass breaking. Now, we do actually have a few of the lights turn on within the mansion, and somebody run into her room, looking to see that not only is a glass of water broken by her bed, a lamp is thrown across the room, glass is broken by her door, and what would lead out onto her patio or the awning to her back room, the glass doors are broken. And we do actually have Momo, who is currently standing on the railing outside. Now, well, I wouldn't really describe it as railing. It's a very thick pillar-like rail. Now, she is currently standing on it and staring off in the direction as somebody does come running out to see her, them taking careful steps to avoid the glass on the ground. And Momo, she's staring off in the exact direction Midoriya is. The exact place Midoriya used that ability. Momo, she could feel this ability. She was closer to it, and it got her attention. Melissa felt the death of a man, two men in fact, and that's what got her to take notice to this. Because it wasn't a normal human death. It was one of them. It was one of them doing it. Now, Momo is currently standing on this rail, and after a minute she does actually blink her eyes, getting her attention back as she actually does somewhat move forwards and fly up into the air. Now, the person behind her actually does take a deep breath and somewhat of a sigh of relief, asking Miss Yaya Rose if she is quite alright. Her turning around and asking exactly how did she get here. The person simply just stating that they don't know. They heard a loud commotion, and she's been staying like that for a few seconds, or a minute possibly. They didn't want to interrupt her, because they didn't know if she was sleepwalking or not. However, that might have been the case. Now, Momo, she actually does land back down onto the actual patio, and go on to state that she's very sorry. She doesn't know what happened. Still staring off in that direction. She was looking there whenever she woke up. I don't understand this. What is that? Okay. Strange. Now, she actually does go to walk back inside. And she is actually taken to a different room in the mansion, since they do need to fix the glass and her room might get a bit drafty. Now, with all that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed and have an amazing night. I will catch you guys in the next part.